Money is kind of spiritual. It's a physical something we see and use, but it's being controlled spiritually. Money can locate anybody. Whether you are good, whether you are bad, it can locate anybody. It can come through the natural way. It can come through the diabolical way. It depends on the way you want. But I am talking about money locating you through the natural way. Like I said earlier, so many of us do not have that aura to attract money. They don't have that luck to attract money. Attracting money is not all about working hard. It's not all about you toiling day and night. So many people toil from morning till night, but still they will not attract that money. Just a very little money. No matter how they try, we have so many people in this category. Somebody can be working from 6:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night on a daily basis. The only time the person will rest can be just a day out of the 7 days. And for that 6 days, the person has been toiling. If you ask the person to produce what he or she has gotten as money that he or she has gotten so far, you will see a very little money. The person is not blessed with wealth. You are not blessed. You don't have that urge. You don't have that spirit that will attract money. And there is one thing about money. I say that money is somehow spiritual, yes. Money doesn't like to be trapped. Money doesn't like to be trapped. But majority of us are not aware of this. We don't know it. What we want is when we have that money, we pocket it, we bank it, we hide it away from every other person. If anybody requests for a little money, you tell the person you don't have. And there is power in spoken words. You keep on telling people you don't have, you don't have, you don't have. As you are saying this, nature is hearing you. You have it, but you are denying that you don't have it. Nature is hearing everything you are saying. And whatsoever we say with our mouth is what nature will carry out. When you keep on saying that you do not have money just because you don't want to help, nature has heard it. Whether it is true or not, that is what nature will carry out. And nature will start deducting from you that which you have gotten so far. Nature will start removing it from you through so many ways, so that you will remain without money. And then when you tell people that you don't have money, that will be true instead of you lying. Money is spiritual. We see it, we touch it, we make use of it, we feel it, but it's truly spiritual. And it doesn't want to be trapped. So you banking it, not using it, not helping people, you pocketing it, not using it, not helping people, you are actually trapping money. And money doesn't want to be trapped. So when you trap money, there won't be any avenue for you to get more. It's a spiritual something which you cannot understand. The moment money notices that you are trapping the ones you have, it will no longer come your way. It will no longer locate you, so that you will make use of those ones you have until you have nothing left. But if money notices that as it comes in, you make use of it, you help people, that door will remain open. Money will keep on locating you. It will keep on coming every now and then. Yes, I know a lot of people, maybe somebody who is doing so well. You have a lot of money. You've made it. But you always help. Maybe like when you get 1 million naira, out of that 1 million, you will use like 400 or 500,000 naira to help people. And you have the half remaining. When people see you, they will call you all sorts of names. They would say that you don't have brain. You don't know what you are doing. You are using all your money to help people. But if you check it very well, you will notice that as you give out that 500, when money will come back again to you, it will come back double. And when you give out again, it will still come back double because you are giving out. As you are giving out, that money is still located. But being charitable is different. It comes from the heart. Charity work comes from the heart. It's actually inborn. It's not something you learn as an adult. It's actually inborn. When you give without notifying anybody around you. When you give from your heart. It doesn't matter if you are giving the last you have. You give from your heart and you don't complain. You don't murmur. You don't murmur. When you give, you don't look towards getting back. That is how money will locate you. I will keep on saying this. Money is spiritual. As money is coming to you, it is actually within your heart. It comes to the wicked. It comes to the good. But the wicked people will never enjoy that money. That's how it is. You may think they're enjoying it, but they are not actually enjoying it. They will have enough wealth, but they will lack happiness. They will lack peace. They will lack joy. But that money that will locate the good man will come with happiness, peace, and joy. When you are charitable, you are opening the doors of heaven. The universe will actually know who you are. When I'm talking about the universe, I'm talking about nature. They will actually know who you are. And everything you do, even the words of your mouth, nature will carry it out. Because you are charitable, because it's coming from your heart. It's not all about you bringing everything you have and giving to the poor. No, it is you giving from that little that you have. That is how you know someone who is charitable. And if you are doing this, you may not be wealthy, but you will find it difficult to lack. Whenever you are in need of something, all you need to do is to ask, and someone will volunteer to help. You will not lack anything. At your point of need, there must be someone that God has stationed to help you. At every point in time that you are in need, God must position someone to help you. But we do not know about this. We always prefer to give out of the abundance that we have. We will wait until we are wealthy like the richest man in Nigeria. That is when you will now start doing your charity. Let me tell you, if you don't start now, even if you become the most wealthy man in the whole world, you will still not want to give because you will believe that if you give, you will start lacking. It is something that is inborn. So you try and see how you can open that door for wealth to locate you. And when we talk about charity, I want to correct this. Yes, I know people love giving. It's good. But you see the statement that charity begins at home. That is what charity is all about. Charity is not all about you going outside, giving to people outside. Meanwhile, those at home with you are hungry. They are naked. They do not have anything. They are actually looking up to you for help. But you want to give those outside so that those outside will recognize you and will thank you, because you know that those at home with you cannot say that thank you to you. Charity starts from home. It's not all about coming online to give to people online. It's not all about that. Charity starts from home. Those ones that the people outside do not know. The people that you grew up with. Because those outside do not know anything about them. It is only you that can tell what is actually happening to them. And if God has elevated you to a higher level, He actually elevated you for you to turn back and drag those people up, to lift them up. You have to lift them first before you go outside and start giving to the public. Let those at home testify of your charitable heart before those outside. But so many of us have a lot at home who are suffering. We have a lot at home who are hungry. There are so many people who didn't eat at least 2 square meals today. But there are so many of us who have given their money to someone outside for that person to eat. Meanwhile, you have someone at home who is actually hungry. That is not being charitable. You are not being charitable at all. It is not a charity work. It is being a philanthropist. That is what it is. Because you are actually looking out for something. You are looking for praises. You want people to praise you. You want people to lift you high, to talk good about you. But those at home with you are so down. They are so downcasted. They can't even speak well of you. because you don't want to recognize them. You don't want to help them, because when you help them, no one will know. So if you want to go into charity, start from your house. Start from your house, not online. Not online, not outside. Start from your house. That's your brother, that's your sister who is passing through difficulties. Start from that person. And there is something I called charity. Charity is not all about giving money. No. Charity is not all about giving money. I myself in particular, I don't believe in giving money. If I give you money today, I will still give you money tomorrow, and I will still give you money next tomorrow, and I'm not actually helping you. So assuming you are hungry, you don't have anything to eat, and you walk up to me requesting for help. For that meantime that you are hungry, I will give you food. I will buy the food stuff for you. And then I will help to set you up, because I don't want you to come back tomorrow to request for money again from me. I will help to set you up so that you will start something doing. Instead of giving you fish all the time, I will teach you how to fish. That is me. But not actually giving money, because there is no amount of money that you give to someone who is not doing anything to make ends meet. There is no amount of money that you give to that person that will be enough for that person. So it is not all about giving money. When someone is in need, you reach out and help that person, and then you see how you can help lift the person up if you are in a position to lift that person up. Not actually giving the person money, because you keep on giving that person money until whenever, which you don't know. And at a point, you'll be exhausted. You will no longer want to do that. So to avoid running away from that person, try and lift the person up. Show the person the way to make that money. Now, when we talk about this money, how do you make it? If you have, I've said this before, if you have a negative aura, it will be so difficult for you to make money. If you have a negative aura, if you have, if you're passing through an intergenerational problem, you might be making money, but you will never make a tangible use of that money. Money can locate you, but you wouldn't know where that money went into, because there are forces behind it. When you get the money, the forces will take that money from you. If you are passing through marine issues, you can be making money. See, when it comes to marine issues, there are two different types of people in this issue. The ones who are successful and the ones who are not. Most of the people who have marine issues and are successful are actually people who acknowledge that marine. Yes, they know they have a marine issue, but they decided to acknowledge it. They decided to abide by the rules governing that marine. And when they do this, that marine will release their wealth for them. Okay? But they still have a price to pay for that. But then those ones who are not successful are those who are passing through this marine issue but decided not to acknowledge that marine. Now, it's a thing of choice. When it comes to this issue, it's a thing of choice. So if you are passing through a marine issue and you are successful, yes, it can be that either your ancestors or your parents actually acknowledge that marine, and so that wealth is still transferring to you. And if you are not successful, and meanwhile you are someone who is passing through a marine issue, it means right from the time of your ancestors, they refused to acknowledge that marine. And that is why you are not successful. It's a thing of choice this time around. I'm not supposed to tell you what you want to do. However you want to do it, you go ahead and do it. Now, assuming you don't have all these issues, you are not having any marine issue, you are not, you don't have any intergenerational cause, you don't have a negative aura, but you are still finding it difficult to attract wealth. Now, you can only attract money. You can only clear that avenue so that money will locate you through the use of natural items. The use of natural items. The things that God has created. What you eat on a daily basis. These are the things that can open up that door for you. But it is not magic. I always say this. Nature is not magic. Nature doesn't work like magic. Nature works with time and season. That is how nature works. You may do this season, now that we are still in the rainy season. And if nature is supposed to do this using harmattan, it will wait. By the time it gets to harmattan season, everything will start working for you. Your doors will now open. That is how nature works. It is not all about you using it now and expecting that miracle in a week's time. No, the nature doesn't work that way. Now, what are those natural items that we are talking about? Number one, cinnamon powder or cinnamon stick. Cinnamon powder or cinnamon stick. If you can't find the powder, you can get the stick and you grate it. Grate that stick to get the cinnamon powder. You know, the cinnamon powder they sell these days, there are so many adulterated cinnamon powder, which they've added so many other ingredients into it. Even when you test it, it will no longer taste like the original cinnamon powder. So I prefer buying the cinnamon stick and then I will grate it to get the powder from it. Cinnamon powder is actually one of those items that can attract money for you. That can attract money for you. Now, how are you going to use this cinnamon powder? What you are going to do is, like, you can do this once in a month, because that is what I always do, once in a month. This particular one that I'm about to tell us now, I do it once in a month. At the beginning of every month, I will get the currency that I want. If it's 1,000 naira note, I will get it 3. If it's 500, I'll get it 3. 100 naira, I'll get it 3. Whichever one, I'll get it 3. And then I'll place it on my altar table. And I will sprinkle cinnamon powder on it. And I pray over that money. I will say whatever I want. How I want money to locate me. After that prayer, before I go out, I will take that money together with that cinnamon powder on it, fold them together and put it inside my purse. And then I'll put my purse inside my handbag. That money is the money that you're supposed to give out to people. It doesn't matter whether there is cinnamon powder on it, just give it out. Give it to the less privileged ones. The work of that cinnamon powder on top of that money is to attract money for you. Wherever that money is, that is the work of that cinnamon powder. Sprinkle it on top of the currency that you have. Fold it together and put it inside your purse. But you must give out that money that very day. You must give out that money. You are not supposed to use that money to buy anything. Give it out to people who will make use of it. The work of that cinnamon powder is to attract wealth for you. Now, another way that the cinnamon powder can attract money for you, can open the door for you, for money to locate you. It is by you adding cinnamon powder into your bathing water, a very little quantity. You know, the grinded cinnamon powder is not as smooth as ordinary powder. So when you are bathing, you will feel that cinnamon powder on your body. All you need to do is to add a little quantity of cinnamon powder into your bathing water. And you still pray over your water. You can do this for 7 days. You can do it for 3 days. And you use that water to bathe. After bathing, you don't have to towel your body. Let it dry on your body. And then you dress up for either 3 days or 7 days. If you are doing this every month, you will watch and see how everything will turn out to be for you. That is another way that cinnamon powder can attract wealth for you. Now, another way, assuming you don't want to put it in your money, you don't want to use it to bathe. Another way that cinnamon powder can work for you is by you, like in the beginning of every month, after your prayers, early in the morning, after you must have cleaned the house and you swept everywhere, you cleaned everywhere, you get that cinnamon powder. You are going to sprinkle it, a little quantity, at every corner of your house, more especially in the front door. If you have both front and back door, you sprinkle a little quantity of cinnamon powder in your front door and at your back door. That cinnamon powder that you have sprinkled there will attract wealth for you for that month. It will attract wealth for you for that month. This is how cinnamon powder works. If you have ever tried this, I want you to say it, write it down here. But if you have not tried it, I want you to try it and see. That is how cinnamon powder can work for you. Now, another natural item that can attract wealth for you. I've taught us about this, and I'm still repeating it because it's like a magic. Is garlic. You all know garlic. This is just one. This is garlic. This garlic performs a lot for us. To start with, both the garlic seed itself and the garlic peel, they all perform wonders when you use them. When you use them. Now, how are you going to use this garlic to attract wealth? Just like I have this one now. All I need to do is to pray with this one, just this alone. Open my purse, drop it inside my purse. What I'm telling you is this is my daily lifestyle. This is what I do. If I get my purse and open my purse, you will see the one inside my purse. As long as you have garlic inside your purse, that purse, it will be so difficult for that purse to lack money, especially cash. It will be so difficult. Even if it remains a single currency inside that your purse or inside that your wallet, how the garlic will attract money for you that will be put inside that pocket, you will not know. And there is one thing that this garlic does, which, in case you practice this, I will want you to observe, because I want you to experience this. If you put this garlic inside your purse or inside your wallet, maybe you will think that it will decay in a week's time. No, it will not. It can last for up to 1 month. Mine stays like 1 month. All it will do is to just dry up. It will dry up. That's all it will do. Now, what I do is, once it gets dry, I'll remove that dry one and I'll put a fresh one. Now, when you put a garlic inside your purse or inside your wallet, I want you to observe this. Whenever that garlic is attracting money for you, you will know. How are you going to know? That garlic inside your purse or inside your wallet will start oozing out. It will start oozing out. The odor, or not odor, how do I call it? The aroma will be so much that you will think that somebody around you can perceive it. But you are actually the only person perceiving that aroma. It is only you. There are times when I will be in my office, and then that aroma will start oozing out from my handbag. It's quite embarrassing because I always think that people will perceive it, but actually nobody perceives it except me. And before that week runs out, I will get something wonderful. I will get something wonderful. That is how this garlic works. I never knew about this until my guardian angel taught me. I never knew about this. He actually showed me this garlic in the dream, lying on the floor everywhere, and he asked me to pick them up. He asked me to put the garlic up, pick them up, and put them inside my purse. And that is going to change my life. And that when I see the result, I should teach people. So I picked that garlic up in my dream. So when I woke up from that dream, it's somehow, I've never heard of this before. But I went to my kitchen and brought out garlic. And I prayed with that garlic, and I said that I'm going to try this to see how it works. And this thing I'm teaching you people is since 2 years ago. And ever since then, I never miss having garlic inside my wallet, inside my purse. If you're a woman, it has to be inside your purse. If you're a man, try and get wallet. Purse and wallet is where we put our cash. That is where that garlic is supposed to be. And that is how it will be attracting cash for you. Whenever it starts oozing out, whenever the smell starts coming out, that is when that garlic is actually attracting money for you. I want you to try this. I'm telling you from a personal experience. Experience, they say, is the best teacher. This is from a personal experience. Try and get this. Put it inside, not inside your handbag. It has to be inside your wallet or inside your purse. For ladies, inside your purse, and then you cannot put that your purse inside your handbag. For guys, I know their wallets is always inside their trouser, the pocket of their trouser. Let it be inside your purse or your wallet. Now, another thing that this garlic does, which I practiced, no one taught me that, but I decided to practice it. My husband sells cars, and you know that selling car is not an everyday business. Okay, it's something that they sell like once in a while because of how expensive cars are. And so he brought back the cars that he would sell. But after a while, he started telling me that he's actually not making sales because of how expensive those cars are. So I told him what to do. I told him to get this garlic and put it inside the boot of the car and under the floor carpets. He refused. He told me that he looks somehow, that if he puts it there, when people see it, that people will say that he's now into charms. And I asked him, how is garlic a charm? How? Something that if I cook food with it, you will eat that food. You don't see it as charm when you eat the food, but you see it as charm for you to put it inside the car. He refused bluntly, so I left him. What I did was, very early in the morning, without his knowledge, I decided to go with garlic. And I placed the garlic inside the car, in the boot of the cars, and under the floor carpets. I didn't tell him. In 1 week, he sold the cars, all of them. He sold all of them. I actually didn't put the garlic inside one of the cars. And that one that I didn't put the garlic inside was the one that he couldn't sell. He didn't sell that one. He brought that one back and told me that it's too expensive, that people are pricing it so low. He couldn't sell that one. But for the rest that I put that garlic inside, he sold all of them. I didn't tell him what I did because he doesn't want it, for people not to say that it's charm. So instead of me telling him and him refusing, I decided to do it by myself. And he sold the cars. And up to now, I still didn't tell him what I did. And for that one that I didn't put the garlic inside, he didn't sell the one. And actually, that one turned out to be mine. He gave it to me. Probably God doesn't want him to sell that one. He decided to give me that one. So that is what garlic can do for you. That is what garlic can do for you. So many people are not aware of this. I myself, I didn't know about it until my guardian angel told me. Until he told me what to do with garlic. And ever since then, I haven't stopped, and I will not stop. Even if I make the whole money, I will still not stop because it's actually working for me. Then another thing that you can use to attract wealth, some of us are not even aware of this thing. Some of us, or if not all of us, we are not aware of this thing at all. But I'm going to teach us that, because we always see our elders do this, but we've never tried it. We believe it's something for the village people, something for elderly men and women, but it's actually working. And that thing is kola nut. Kola nut. We use kola nut to attract wealth. We use kola nut to open doors of blessings, blessings of all kinds, not only wealth. Kola nut can attract blessings of all kinds for you. How many of you, men in particular, men who are in this live stream, how many of you have ever decided to break a kola nut, to pray with a kola nut and break it? How many of you have done that? I believe none. None, because you believe that it is idolatry. It is actually tradition. It is not idolatry. That you are breaking a kola nut doesn't mean you are breaking it for idol. Is there any God that you worship at all? I myself, I worship the Almighty God. Which God are you worshiping? If you break a kola nut in the name of any God, that is the God you are worshiping. And when you break the kola nut in the name of God, you are actually asking God to open up the doors of... Do you know the meaning of breaking that kola nut? You don't know. A lot of us believe that when you break it, you are breaking it for everybody to eat. Yes, you are actually breaking it for everybody to see, but you are actually opening up that door of progress. That is what that kola nut signifies. You are actually opening up the door of progress for you. This is something that men are supposed to do, not women. In Igbo land, it is actually the men that breaks the kola nut. I have a son who is of age, who is an adult, a full-grown man now. So whenever I want to perform spiritual exercises that requires that a kola nut will be broken, I will give it to him. And he will pray and break the kola nut. He's now a man. Okay? As a woman, I'm not supposed to do that since there is a man with me. He will do it for me. But men these days, the only time they witness the breaking of kola nuts is when they travel to the village, probably for a marriage ceremony. That is the only time they witness the breaking of kola nut, but they have never actually done it on their own. You have never actually decided to go to the market to buy a kola nut, to call on God, offer him that kola nut, and then you break it. When you offer him the kola nut and break it, you have actually requested for everything good for you and your family. And those good things will not locate only you. It will locate you and it will locate your family members. But we don't know all these things. We do not know them because we are living in the township and we don't want to associate with tradition. We don't want to associate with tradition. We believe that tradition is evil. Meanwhile, we are coming from a place where tradition has its foundation there. That is where we are all coming from, but we don't want to recognize it because we believe in the white man's tradition. We believe in their own tradition. And then we decided to throw our own away. When people break kola nut at marriage ceremonies, you eat. To you, it's nothing wrong there because it's actually a marriage ceremony. But you will not break it in your house because you believe that when you break it in your house, it is idolatry. That is brainwashing. And that is why it looks as if Africans are suffering more than other continents. Yes, we are actually suffering because we've decided to stay away from all those things that God has created that will open the door of wealth for us. That is why we are suffering. You have a means of making money. You have a means of attracting wealth for yourself, but you actually don't want to use it because it has to do with your own tradition. And you hate your tradition. You don't like it. You decided to buy another man's tradition. How will that man's tradition work for you? It is going to take a long time for that man's tradition to work for you. It is going to take a very long time. But your own will work for you immediately, like magic. Breaking of kola nut is not idolatry. It is actually presenting an offering unto God. But we don't know it. You are presenting an offering unto God, giving him something for him to give you something. That's what it is. But we don't know it. We call it idolatry. We call it all sorts of names. But when we attend the occasion and the elders break kola nut, we all eat. To us, that time, it is not evil because there is a ceremony. But you cannot do it in your house. To you, it is evil when you do it in your house. I actually don't know what is wrong with we Africans. We Nigerians in particular. Let me not say Africans. We Nigerians. I actually don't know what is wrong with us. We have so many natural ways to attract wealth. But we see all these ways as evil. We don't make use of them. We only want that white man's way. And it doesn't work for us. That is why a lot of people will even travel outside the country. And they will remain there for 10 years, for 20 years, and they're still calling home and telling those at home that they are finding it difficult to eat. All because you went there and you decided to join their tradition, which I'm not saying that you are not supposed to join. You decided to join their tradition, forgetting your own. Please try and make use of the natural things. These are natural things. They are not artificial. They are not manufactured anywhere. It is the things that God has created. When you break the kola nut, if you're a man, of course, there must be family members around you. Even if it's those, your friends, whoever, anybody around, you share it. Let everybody eat. But you are actually giving God something and expecting him to give you something. And he will reciprocate. He will give it to you. Now, another thing that attracts money for us, that attracts wealth for us, that opens doors for us is sea salt. Sea salt or natural salt. You know there's a difference between the normal salt we are using and the natural salt. I don't know if you're aware of this. There is a natural salt, unrefined, unadulterated. You can find it in the market where elderly women are selling natural items. If you ask them of natural salt, they will show you. Natural salt is not as sweet as these refined iodized salts that people are using now. It's not like that. Iodized salt is more salty in taste than the natural salt. Assuming you are cooking with a natural salt, you can add like up to 3 spoons of that salt into your food and it will still not taste salty. That is how that natural salt is. Unlike the iodized salt, just 1 spoon alone can be too much for what you are cooking. Now, this time around, I'm not talking about that iodized salt. I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about this natural salt or the sea salt. The sea salt is actually a natural salt. It is natural. It's just that it comes in lumps. And that is how it is. Now, this natural salt doesn't taste like other salts. These 2 types of salts can attract wealth for you. How are you going to use them? It is by using them, putting them into your bathing water. That is what these salts can do for you. Putting them into your bathing water. For the sea salt that comes in lumps, of course, you have to be careful when you are adding it into your bathing water. You can count out number of the seeds you want. For those who can buy the seeds that are so lumpy, that are so big, you can count out like up to 7 seeds and put it into your bathing water. For the natural salt, you can just use a pinch into your bathing water. These 2 types of salts they work like magic. They work like they perform better than the iodized salt. The iodized salt is salt actually, but it's already a refined salt. It has passed through processes. But these 2 salts that I'm talking about are just natural, the way that God has created them. The sea salt is very expensive, extremely expensive. But the local salt is cheap. It's cheaper than iodized salt. But you will get the local salt from these elderly women in the market. It is not being sold just anyhow, anywhere. No. You will have to ask for it so that they will direct you to where you buy it. But the sea salt, you can get them at the supermarkets. Sometimes sea salt in particular and these natural salts, it's not all about you using them to bathe. Just like the way you can do to cinnamon powder, sprinkling it around your house anywhere, you can actually sprinkle that sea salt and that natural salt, depending on the one you get. You sprinkle it everywhere. They perform not just to attract wealth for you. If you have them around where you are, if there is any charm around that place, that charm will be automatically neutralized. That charm will no longer work. When you sprinkle sea salt or when you sprinkle natural salt around your premises wherever you are, and there happen to be a charm around there, that charm will be neutralized. There's no 2 ways about it. It will lose its potency. It will no longer work. So they do this for us and they equally attract wealth for us. These are still natural items that you can go to the market and buy with your money, that you don't need anybody to conjure or chant an incantation for all these things to work. They have their powers in them already. All you need to do is to activate that power by yourself, by praying. You pray over them, and that is how they can be activated. You are not chanting any incantation. You are not visiting any shrine. You are not giving it to anybody to pray over for you. Your words will activate all these items and they will work for you. So I want to let us know. But if you are having a spiritual issue that is preventing you from attracting wealth naturally, I always advise people to solve that problem first. Whatever problem it is, solve it first before we talk about using these things. This teaching that I just gave are for those who don't have any spiritual issues but are still finding it difficult to get money. They are still finding it difficult to attract wealth. So when you don't have any spiritual issues and you are finding it difficult to attract wealth, I want you to do this. Practice any of these things. Practice it. And you will see how it will work for you. If you have any question to ask, you ask me. I saw a lot of questions, but I don't answer questions when I am teaching. I prefer giving out my teachings and then we start answering questions. Lucky man, yes. If you want to attract, that is to make sales in your shop, I will want you to add cinnamon powder into a bucket of water. Use it to clean your shop. It's either you add cinnamon powder into your bucket of water or you add honey. For those who have business premises and you want to make quick sales, you want to make sales in your business premises, it's either you use cinnamon powder to clean your shop or you use honey, you add honey into that water. Use it to clean your shop. You can now sprinkle the cinnamon powder round. It is not noticeable. When you sprinkle it, nobody will see it. It is not noticeable. These two items will attract people into your business premises. That is their work. It will attract people into your business premises for sales. Saucemen, what do you say when you pray? It is you who is passing through whatever you are passing through that will know what you are supposed to pray. In whatever I'm passing through, I know what I'm passing through. So when I'm about to pray, I will pray. When I pray, I'll make sure I point out all those things that I'm passing through. So that is how you are going to pray. Asking God to relieve you of those things. Asking Him to bless you. Scale youth, how to clean your boss. I don't know what you mean by how to clean your boss. What, the boss, is it a boss as in transport and how to clean it? How? You don't do anything to clean your boss. You take your boss to car wash. If it's a boss you are using as a transport, to bring in people, wash your boss the normal way you want to wash it, okay? And then all you need is to pray and maybe sprinkle cinnamon powder inside it. Yes. That's what you can do. Valuer, when you are going for an interview, I don't know, I actually gave this teaching to somebody here on this live stream who chatted me up and told me that he's going for an interview and I told him what to do and he did it and eventually chatted me up after some days and told me that the interview was successful, that he was employed, but what he complained was that he didn't know that the salary is not up to what he wanted, but he was actually employed. So I don't know if that person is here. So I'm still going to give you the same teaching, but make sure that the job you are applying, make sure you know about the salary. Let it not be that after they have employed you, you now start complaining about the salary. Now, what you're supposed to do is you can get that ordinary salt or you get sea salt, a little quantity. On the morning of the day you are supposed to go for that interview, you are supposed to pray with the salt. After praying, if you're a man, I know men do wear socks before they wear their shoes. You put the the salt inside your socks, a very little quantity, and then you wear your shoe. If you are not used to wearing socks, you still put salt into your shoes, and then you put your legs. But make sure you pray with this item. Make sure you pray with that salt, like a day before the day of the interview. Then on the day of the interview, you do this. You put the salt inside your shoe. If there is anything that will pose as a hindrance, if there is anything that will make those people not to take you, that will make them to overlook you, that salt will help you. The work of that salt is to neutralize every negativity around you. That is actually the work of that salt. To neutralize every negativity. At least you'll be noticed. And then if they decide to take people, you'll be among those that will be taken. Unicorns, in your personal car, yes. Yes, you can leave any of these items in your personal car. Any of them. Any of them. Just a little of it. A little of it. The reason why I always say a little of it is because there is a way people behave. When they come inside your car and then they see garlic or they see salt or they start asking you questions. Before you know it, they start gossiping with your name. He's into charms. She's into charms. She's now using juju. He's now using juju. Just a little quantity. Yes, you can do it. No, Osman, betting with sea salt. It depends on how you want it. I do that like once in a month. Okay, like for 3 days in a month or for 7 days in a month, and that's all. And I will leave it like that until another month. So it depends on how you want it. But I am not advising you to be betting with it every day. Salt is salt. It's actually acidic, to avoid any reaction on your skin. That is why I advise people to do it either for 3 days or for 7 days, and then you leave it until another month. Yes, more. Sometimes people don't know the root or the source of their challenges. Yes, but sometimes they do, but they don't want to accept it. Sometimes people do. They don't want to accept it because they believe that a miracle will occur for them. Even if God decides to show them the way to solve the problem, they will still wait for God to come down and do it by himself. The ways that we always expect God to work for us is not actually the way that he has destined that our problems will be solved. And that is why it looks as if he doesn't answer prayers. He answers. You may be asking him for money. You don't have money to eat. You want him to give you money. And then you go out and you see someone you don't like too well. You don't really like the person. And the person decides to offer you money. And out of pride and anger, you won't want to take the money. If you don't take that money, maybe the whole of that day you won't see anything. God has actually positioned that person to help you. Our problem is recognizing it. That is our problem. Recognizing it and accepting it. Sometimes we recognize it, but we won't accept it. That's our problem. Okay, keep your questions coming. Victor, if you are experiencing fear and panic attack, every now and then I always tell people such things especially for adults. An adult is not supposed to be scared unnecessarily. But whenever you are experiencing such, there is a being around you. I'm not trying to scare you away. I'm telling you the fact. There is a being around you. It's either a good one or a bad one. But whichever one, I will want you to go into prayers so that it will manifest. If it's the good one, let it manifest. If it's the bad one, let it manifest so that you know what to do. But whenever you are experiencing fear and panic, there is a being around you. It's either there is a being around you or there is a devilish substance, a devilish thing, either like a charm around where you are. It is only these things that can, cause fear and panic. So all you need to do is to start praying. Whenever that fear comes upon you, instead of you running, start praying immediately. Don't run, because if you run today, you will still run tomorrow. Start praying and ask God to make that thing to be, let that thing manifest so that you actually know what is the problem. If it's a good being, that being. But whenever the good beings come, yes, when you feel their presence at first, you will be scared. But then the next thing they will do is to subdue that fear. You will no longer be scared. But if that fear persists, then you know that it's from the bad side. So I will only advise you to be prayerful. Just pray always. Valuer, you do real estate business. What you can do to attract sales is what you are supposed to do on your body. Yes, real estate is not visible. It is just a name. You are actually that real estate. So what you need to do is what you are supposed to do on your body, so that whoever that approaches you, whoever that comes in contact with you, will have the zeal to do business with you. Okay? So I would prefer you going into spiritual cleansing. The other things that you are supposed to do are not the things you are supposed to do on your own. They are the things that is spiritually something I can do for you, or something that any other person who is a spiritualist or can do for you. Okay? But I will want you to go into spiritual cleansing. If you check my page, I've given a lot of teachings about spiritual cleansing. It will actually make you you become attractive. Even when you speak, Whoever you are talking to will listen, and then they will have the zeal to interact with you, to make business with you. So it is you are that real estate that we are now seeing. So you will have to work on your body. Okay, that's the only way you can attract sales. Unicorns, thank you. Yes, lucky man. You can do it at any time, but I prefer doing it the first week of every month, because there is always a blessing. Every month comes with its own blessing. So I prefer attracting that blessing just during that first week. That is when I prefer doing this thing, so that the whole of that month will be okay for me. But it's something you can still do at any point in time, but you will have to do it with your faith. Mastermind, how can I keep money? My money won't stay. I don't understand what you mean. Is it that you spend money like unnecessarily? You spend money unnecessarily. That's my own understanding from what you wrote, that your money cannot stay. You spend money on irrelevant things, and then you lose money every now and then. That's the cause. If money doesn't stay with you, you spend money on irrelevant things, and sometimes it is not always a spiritual issue, but sometimes it is a spiritual issue. You are actually being controlled by that mammon, that spirit of money. You are actually being controlled by that spirit for you to be wasting that money anyhow. You get the money, but it will not last with you. You will still waste it. So the first thing I will advise you to do is, whenever you make money, if you are into business, whenever you make any sales, I want you to get, like, let me use this for example. Maybe you went into a business and then you made a profit of 100,000 naira. I want you to get 1,000 naira out of that 100,000 naira. Take it to church. Pray with it. Tell God that money doesn't stay with you. Tell him that you are giving him that money to keep for you, so that the rest with you can remain with you. After praying, drop that money there. It doesn't matter if anybody walks into the church, sees the money and takes it. It's no longer your business. You have done what you are supposed to do. If you are a civil servant and at the end of the month they pay you your salary, withdraw one out of it. Take it to the church and do this. I want you to be doing this every now and then. And you will notice that you will no longer be wasting money. Whenever you get money, money will remain with you. I was actually passing through this thing that you are passing through now, some years back. Whenever I have money, before you know it, I find myself inside the shop. And in a day or two, the whole money will vanish. And then I will remain without money like that till another month as a civil servant. It kept on happening until I decided to answer my call. And ever since I answered my call, I noticed what I can do so that money will remain with me. And I started doing it. And that was how I started saving. Before, I don't know what is saving. I don't believe in saving, because to me, saving is not possible. But it's actually possible. So I want you to do this. Okay? All right. Thank you, Victor. Keep your questions coming. Sandy, I'm doing good. Sandy, are you just joining us? I'm doing good. Thank you. Oh, okay. Mastermind, when you receive money, your car, okay, your car starts having problem. Whenever you receive money, it is still a spiritual issue. Yes. If you receive money and your car starts having problem, it is still a spiritual issue. And I equally want you to do just this thing that I just told you now. I want you to do it. Whenever you receive money, instead of your car taking that money, please take some from that money, go to church, pray and drop it. Or you can take some from that money, find the less privileged ones, give them the money and let them pray for you. Let some of that money leave, just remove some of that money, give it out. Give it out. Give it to God in the church. Give it to the beggars, to the less privileged ones. Give it out. If you are doing this, that car will no longer be taking your money. That is actually a spiritual problem. Yes, it's actually a spiritual problem, okay? Somebody keeps on writing her. Is it his name or her name? Amelia, 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 Amelia. Amelia, what can I do for you, please? Lucky man, if you don't remember your dreams, you will have to increase your prayer life. I always say this. You can only remember your dreams when you are powerful, when you are spiritually alert, when you are prayerful. That is when you can remember your dreams. But when you are not prayerful, you will find it difficult remembering it. Sometimes it is actually the evil spirits that will remove that dream from you. Assuming there is something that God wants to do in your life. They have already seen it, they know, and they will remove it. So what I advise people to do is to be prayerful. Become prayerful. Being prayerful is not all about praying for 10 hours. It's not all about that. It's all about praying with your heart. Focusing on God when you are praying. And then the next thing I want you to be doing, whenever you go to bed, before you lie down to sleep, I want you to get a bitter cola. Pray and ask God to help you through that bitter cola to make your dreams appear clear. Because when your dreams are clearer, you'll be able to remember it. But when they are not clear, you will not remember anything. Let God help you through that bitter cola to make your dreams clearer, okay? Okay, Sandy, you are welcome. Okay, you want to make a decision about an employee. You need guidance on what to do. Okay, guidance. What guidance do I give you now? What guidance do I give you now? Because if, even if I give you guidance, you may still not follow it very well. If I happen to be the one, I will know. By mere looking at whoever, I will know whether I'm going to be with you or not as an employee. But all the same, just if you have the name, use the name to pray. Yes, use the name to pray. Ask Holy Spirit for that guidance. That guidance can actually come from the Holy Spirit. Let him guide you. Mastermind, thank you. You're welcome. And Sandy, thank you for the gift. Thank you so much. God bless you. Unicorns. Oh, you think killing chicken can affect you spiritually? Never. There is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. There is no link to it. It is your business. Even if it's killing a goat or a cow, it is your business. It has nothing to do with that. Some of the spiritual exercises that I perform, if it requires killing a chicken, yes, I do. If it requires killing a goat, I do. It has nothing to do with your life spiritually at all. That is your business. I will even pray that God will multiply it for you, okay, so that you have more cells. Let there be more chickens to be processed. That is my prayer for you. Lucky man, thank you. Okay, Dennis, you are a farmer and government is owing you. Dennis, you know, whenever we hear that government is owing, there is always somebody who is at the helm of the affairs of that government. Government is just a body comprising of everybody. But there is someone always at the top. Someone at the top. Someone who is in charge of that payment. It is actually the person who has refused to pay you, not that government. Because most of the time, the government will issue that money, they will release that money for you guys' payment. But those people at the helm of that affairs will seize the money and will not pay. So, Dennis, what I want you to do is, if it's possible for you to find out the name of the person who is of paying you people. If you find out the name of the person, then I will tell you what to do. Because when we talk about government can be anybody. You are government and I am government, okay? When it comes to attending to the public in my place of work, when people want to make a report, after that report, if a question is being asked, who is in charge? Is either they mention me, or they mention my colleague, or they mention the director, or they mention, that's how it is. So I want you to find out the name of the person who is in charge. Ask questions. People must know the name of the person who is in charge of paying you people, whether you are a contractor or not. There must be someone whose duty it is to pay you people. Let's have the name of that person. When you have the name, when I come up live again, give me that name and I will tell you what to do. What to do with the name of that person. Unicorns, thank you so much. All right. Keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. If you have any question, please go ahead and ask. Thank you so much to those who gifted me. God bless you so much. Thank you. Please don't forget to like this live stream. Please double tap to like, please. Double tap to like. As you are joining, double tap to like. As you are asking questions, double tap to like. Sandy, thank you so much for the gift. As you are joining us, double tap to like, and don't forget to share it, please. Share this live stream. Share so that a lot of people will join us. Share. We need so much people tonight. We are all here to learn. Let's see how we can solve our problems. And bring your questions. Please, bring up your questions. Ask any question. It's not all about this particular topic. Whatever question that has to do with spiritual issues, whatever that is bothering you spiritually, bring it up here. Let's talk about it. I'm waiting for your questions. And remember, for those who didn't join us at the beginning, okay, unicorns. If you sorry. Okay, you always get anxiety when you're about to make a presentation. First of all, I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to have that pride in you. Have that pride in you. It's not just all about prayer. It's not all about you praying so that God will help you. I want you to be proud of who you are. I want you to have the pride. I want you to be so full of yourself. So full. Believe that there is no one better than you. Believe that there is no one better than you. And when you're about to make the presentation, believe that you are talking to the air, that you are not talking to anybody. Okay? Have that courage in you. Then you back it up with prayers. All right? And you will see how it will work. That anxiety will leave you. If you can do this and get it well, you will always get it well every now and then. That anxiety will leave you. That anxiety is actually there. It's just like an evil spirit trying to tell you that you're a nobody, you're not supposed to be there, trying to bring you down. And you succumb by listening to your subconscious mind. You succumb to all these things by believing whatever that is coming up into your head. When such things comes up into your head, debunk it. Remove it from you, okay? Keep your head high and back whatever you are doing with prayers. Awaken. Your energy is so low. You feel like it's been sucked from you. Wow. And you are not physically sick. You are not sick. You are okay, but it's just that you are losing your energy. Your spiritual energy or your physical energy. Which one are we talking about? If you are losing your energy, be it physical, be it spiritual, as long as it's not a health issue, as long as it is not a health issue, I will want you to try and buy incense and buy candle. Buy incense, buy candle. See, candle is very necessary in our homes. It's very necessary. And I know it's not all churches that uses candle. I know the Cherubim and Seraphim uses candle. The Sabbatarians uses candle. The Catholic Church uses candle. Candle is very necessary in our homes. Whenever you light a candle and you're about to pray, the type of energy you will receive is so amazing. So awaken. Whenever you are feeling this way, try and have these two things handy. Candle and incense. Whenever you feel that way, light that candle. And then you put fire on that incense and take it round wherever you are, in your house in particular. You take it round. Even if you are not praying, after doing this, just sit down. It will clear the atmosphere. You will regain your energy immediately. You will regain that energy. It is actually most of the times a spiritual issue. They drain you. You feel weak because they've actually removed your energy. It's just like whenever I perform a spiritual exercise that is so difficult, this is what comes upon me. After performing that spiritual exercise, I will feel sucked up. The next thing for me to do is I will have to go and lie down and sleep to get myself. And sometimes whenever I wake up, I still don't get myself. So when I'm about to pray, I must surely light my candle. I will light my candle and I will light my incense. And after that prayers, I will regain my strength. Okay? So I want you to be doing this. So that even if it's a spirit that is behind this, the moment you light your candle and your incense, that spirit will vanish. Dennis, okay, what can I do for your company to grow bigger and bigger? And you are actually a farmer. First of all, you will have to pray for protection upon your farm. I don't know what you are dealing on. Is it poultry business? Is it piggery? Is it crops? Whichever one, you will have to be praying for God's blessings upon whatever business that you are doing. Then the next thing you are supposed to do is you are supposed to work on your body. You are actually the one interacting with people, telling people about your products. You work on your body because as people are patronizing you, that is the only way that your company can grow bigger and bigger. Your company cannot just multiply on its own without people. You actually need people. You have to come in contact with people for that company to multiply. So you work on your body. I've made a lot of I've said so much about working on this body. So when you go to my page, you try and check for any of those videos. And Awaken, I've told you what to do. I've told you what to do to buy both candle and incense. You have to be using them. Whenever you feel that way, light the candle, light the incense. You can say a little prayer, but leave them. Now, what I normally do is if I buy candle and if I want to say a short prayer, I don't use a long candle because I don't like blowing candle off whenever I'm praying. I don't like it. I prefer the candle going down on its own. So what I do is when I buy candle, I cut them into small sizes for those short prayers, except when I'm having a midnight prayer. Of course, I will use a long candle. So I cut them into short sizes, and then I will be using those little ones for the short prayers. For whatever you are complaining of, Awaken, get a small candle, okay? Light your incense, light the candle, and just say a little prayer. Unicorns, thank you. User 92167, you are suffering a gang up in your workplace and they want you out by all means. Do you know the people? Because this time around, what you are supposed to do is what you are supposed to do with the names of those people. So if you have the names of those people, of course, this is your workplace, you must know their names. Since they want you out of that office, out of that place, and you are scared, I want you to get their names. And this thing is what you're supposed to do by 12 midnight. Are you ready? Are you ready to do it by 12 midnight? If you are not ready, then there's no point me going ahead to tell you. But if you are ready, I want you to get their names. You are going to do this for 7 nights. You are going to do this for 7 nights and make sure you are innocent. Now, another problem with this teaching is whenever I give people this teaching, they will tell me that they can't do it. And if you can't do it, there is no other way that I can help you. This is the only way that I know. This is the only way that I know. But I'm still going to give you the teaching. It is now left for you to know if you can do it or not, whichever way. So get the names of those people, write it down on a paper. This prayer, you are supposed to say this prayer for 7 nights. It's going to be a midnight prayer. Now, every night, once it's 11:30, the moment is 11:30, you start your prayers. Keep the names of those people down on the floor. You light your candle. Get a candle. You have to get 7 candles, 1 for each night. And then you begin your prayers. Whatever they are doing to you, whatever evil they are planning against you, you mention it, talk to God. Tell God what you are passing through. And then you use Psalm 35. Psalm 35 for God to fight for you. Psalm 109. For whoever that doesn't want you, let that person be removed. Let his office, let another take. Yes, his position, let another take. That is what Psalm 109 is. It's a very dangerous prayer. As long as you know that you are innocent. Use Psalm 109 and Psalm 35. Together with the names of all those people, make sure you are innocent. And it's going to be a 7 days midnight prayer. And after that 7 days, in the morning, on the 8th day, in the morning, I want you to get those names. After your prayers, I want you to get a grinded pepper. You know pepper. The red pepper, the red tiny pepper, the grinded one. I want you to buy it, get it. Keep that pepper ready so that after that 7 days midnight prayer, on the 8th day in the morning, get that name, where you have the pepper, where you have their names. Sprinkle that pepper on top of their names and say whatever you want. After, you are going to fold that pepper. Fold it just like a cigarette, and then you light it. As that pepper is burning, decree whatever you want. And I'm telling you that after this prayer, they will start fighting each other. All of them will start fighting each other. And from fighting each other, you will see what will happen. After burning that pepper, the ashes, you are going to collect the ashes. Take the ashes outside, blow it into the air, and make your final declaration. I don't like doing this prayer because, is when you look at it, it's kind of being wicked. But then when someone wants me out of the way, yes, I go out of my way to do this prayer for that person. Okay? So that is why I say that you have to be innocent. Make sure you are innocent. Let it be that they are the guilty ones, and then you do this. Sandy, what color of candle do you burn to pray? I use white. Colors represents on what you want. When I'm praying, my normal prayer, white candle is for every type of prayer. For every type of prayer, anyone, you can use candle. But whenever I want to perform a spiritual exercise that has to do with maybe someone's health is deteriorating, and I want to pray, to ask questions on what actually caused the health issue, I use green candle. Green signifies life. It signifies wealth. So I use green candle for that. So it depends on the type, the candle you want, but I prefer white most of the time because it's everywhere. For the colored candles, you start to looking for places to buy it. But for white, you can buy it anywhere. Lucky man, for incense, I will advise you to visit churches. Whatever incense you find in any church, in any church bookshop, whatever incense you find there is good. It's good for prayers, good for spiritual exercises. You visit them. Or you can visit spiritual shops and you ask them. Tell them to give you the incense just for a normal prayer. Because there are so many types of incense in spiritual shops. It is left for those who know the type of incense that they want to visit spiritual shops. But when you don't know, ask those who are selling it to give you just the normal incense, a normal one for normal prayer. Okay, awaken. Awaken, just do what I ask you to do, and that problem will be solved. God bless you too. So I have a few minutes left. I can take up to 2 questions. If you have any other question to ask, please bring it up. Please double tap to like. If you are here on this live stream, please just double tap to like. Okay, help me share the live. I have few minutes left. Bring up your question. I can take 2 more questions before leaving. Bring up your questions. I'm still waiting for your questions. Few minutes left. For those who are joining us now, what I'm going to do is, as usual, I'm going to download this live stream, because we talked about wealth and charity. That is what we talked about today. So I'm going to download this live stream and post it on my page so that you can watch it and learn. Okay? Prima, thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. God bless you. Pray for my businesses, the boutique. Okay. So, okay, just write down the name of your boutique. All right, my time is up. I'm so glad we all made it through tonight. I want to thank you all. Thank you so much. Lucky man, it depends on what you have as your market. But whatever you have as your market, I advise people to take one out of that thing that you are selling. If you are into buying and selling, take one out of that thing you are selling, pray with that thing, use it as a point of contact to reach the rest. Now, what the other thing you are supposed to do is something you need to work on your body. For every businessman and woman, for you to make sales, most of the time you will have to work on your body spiritually. Cleanse yourself. Perform some spiritual exercises on your body, because you are actually the one selling, not your goods. Not that your goods, you are actually the one selling. Okay, so that when people see you, they can come in and patronize you. Work on your body, work on your shop. For your shop, what you need to do is to be performing cleansing from time to time on your shop and prayers. Then another thing is for you to work on your body. Cleanse your body. And if you're opportune to come in contact with any spiritualist or anybody you feel like you want the person to help you, there are some spiritual exercises that needs to be performed on you, so that when people come to your shop, they will patronize you. Most of the times, a lot of people are under spell. A lot of business premises are actually caged without you knowing it. And these businesses that are caged are actually the businesses that belongs to the people who don't find it necessary to pray. Yes, a lot of people do not find it necessary to pray, because they know that their market is what people want, so they don't need to pray. And then before you know it, someone will actually cage your business. And what they do is, when they cage your business, people can come and you think that the people are seeing you. They're actually not seeing you. They are not seeing your shop. They are not seeing you. They are not seeing what you are selling. Meanwhile, you are open. You are actually selling. But nobody will come in, because what they are seeing is an empty space, or they are seeing a locked up shop. You see, that is why it's always necessary that you pray and safeguard your business premises. When you perform cleansing on your shop every now and then, it will be so difficult for that charm to work on your shop, because it's actually a charm from somebody who doesn't want you to progress in life. So for your business to grow, for people to recognize you, for people to notice you, for people to patronize you, you have to work on your body first of all. For your business to grow, you work on your shop, on your business premises, and that is how it will grow. Lucky man, you can work on your body by cleansing. Cleansing. For the rest of the spiritual exercises, they are not something you can do on your own. They are something that a spiritualist, that I can do for you or any other person can do for you. But that cleansing alone will help you. It is going to help you a lot. It will clear that way for you. As long as you do not have a spiritual issues following you from home, that is maybe an intergenerational problem, or from the marine. If you do not have any of these problems, you are just passing through like difficulties, the natural difficulties that anybody can pass through. So what you need is just cleansing. Okay? Okay, Sandy, you pray over your things. Good. It's very necessary. All right, so I've overstayed. I've actually overstayed my time. I want to thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For those who ask questions, God bless you so much, because as you ask questions, you help others to realize what they are passing through so that they will know the answers, and you equally, you know the answers and know how to handle your cases. And then I want to thank my gifters. God bless you abundantly for gifting me. It's not actually easy for me to be coming up live every now and then, and I'm actually burning data. And I thank you for gifting me, because as you gift me, you equally encourage me. And I want to thank those who liked this live stream. God bless you so much for liking. Your like is actually bringing up my page. And then I want to thank those who shared. God bless you, because when you share, a lot of people will see it and then they will join us, and you don't know the one you are going to help to solve his or her problems. Thank you, Sandy, so much for the gift you've been gifting me tonight. God bless you abundantly. So I'm going to leave us all, and I pray that God will bless each and every one of us, and God will open up our ways of progress, and he will grant us good health and peace of mind, and make a way where there is no way for us. And may he remain with us tonight and make our night a beautiful one, so that by tomorrow morning he will wake us up to glorify his holy name. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Thank you all so much. And I'm going to come up live again on Wednesday night. Until then, good night and God bless you all.